Views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, you're encouraged to like and share them on Facebook. Nutrition World in Fort Pierce between Orange Avenue and Avenue A on US 1 across from City Hall now presents Joanne's World of Nutrition.
Hello, everybody. Oh, go ahead, Cliff. You have one more sentence.
With Joanne Seeger.
Awesome.
We got to get the Augusto out because a lot of folks are still...
I know. I'm still in between those two worlds, believe it or
you
not.
still getting mail?
A little, well, they said, my accountant said for tax purposes, keep that. And then all of a sudden I went to the Social Security office and the line was like 10 miles long. And then I made an appointment and I thought it was 1:30. It was 9:30, so I missed it. So, yeah. So I'm in between the worlds still, but that's okay. I'll get it done.
It'll work.
Oh, so happy Thursday, everybody. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. And I think since it sounds like we're a little discombobulated, let's do the breathing exercise to start.
That might help us all
Yes,
out.
let's get us all focused and centered. So if there's any newbies listening, welcome to the show. I really appreciate you taking some time with me this morning.
And if you're driving in your car, do not do this with your eyes closed.
Yes, please, everyone, keep your eyes open if you're driving. So we're going to just do a quick breathing exercise. We're going to exhale out all the tension, the drama, the stress, and the anxiety that we're feeling right now. And we're going to breathe in through our nose for 5. We're going to hold for 5 and exhale through our nose only. Please do nothing through the mouth for 5. And we're going to do that 3 times this morning.
Okay.
So I hope everyone joins us. Okay, let's exhale.
You don't have to close your eyes. Let it all out. And as we begin with our slow inhale right now, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again through the nose. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. In. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Thank you, Cliff.
Some of you closed your eyes.
Oh, yes. That feels so good. I hope everyone enjoyed that.
And
Please
do this
continue
later.
all day long.
All day, throughout
yes,
the day,
so
whenever.
I want to remind all the listeners that Mother's Day is Sunday. And so we do have a store special. So Ion Foot Detox and Infrared Sauna is available at Nutrition World. And usually it's $25 each. The Mother's Day special is buy one, get another free. You can do 2 saunas, mix and match, doesn't matter. And also couples can enjoy the sauna together or 2 friends for the same
his
price.
And hers mothers.
Yes, I mean, it doesn't like I have a wonderful couple coming in on Saturday. They're going to enjoy the sauna together, and then they're both going to do Ion Foot Detoxes for their Mother's Day.
Well, mom's going to love that.
So, instead of maybe, eating some really naughty food that makes us feel yucky for the later part of the day, why don't we do something healthy for each other? And I also want to mention, too, I told a customer about a trick I use for mosquitoes, and he did report back actually that very next day, super excited to say that my concoction also worked for no-see-ums. So if anyone lives on the island or is bothered by those really horrific no-see-ums by the beach.
If they live on the island, they know what you're talking about.
They know no-see-ums. And normally it's even the chemicalized, very dangerous sprays really don't even work. Wow. So what it is I sell a rose water, very inexpensive rose water, and I put about 6 to 10 drops of pure peppermint oil in the bottle, and then it's a spray bottle, so you just spray it all over. It's completely safe, but mosquitoes hate peppermint oil, and so do no-see-ums.
And we know what peppermint oil, does it have a scent?
peppermint is just that beautiful, nice mint scent, but it's
Yeah.
very invigorating. It's joyful. It's clarifying,
Yeah,
and
to
it's
us.
also peppermint also works. I always have it going in the store. It also is cooling, so it's like the sense that, and so who living near the beach, especially with the summer coming up, doesn't want to feel a little cool and refreshed.
Comfortable and
So
compatible
again,
with us.
very
Yeah.
affordable, completely safe, no chemicals, especially the DEET chemical, which is horrific to our liver. So just try that. Just get a rose water atomizer. Again, I sell the one by Heritage, very affordable, and peppermint oil drops, and spray that all over, and to keep your no-see-ums and mosquitoes away. All right, and then one other announcement. For anyone in the CBD market, for 2 years I've only sold 2 brands, but now I do have Garden of Life. So Garden of Life is a huge nationwide company. They've been around forever. They were always considered the premier company. So now they are investing in amazing CBD oil. I do have the entire line. It's extremely affordable for all the clean stuff, and what's the best is it's all certified THC free. Now some people like the full spectrum CBD that has a touch of it in it. It would never get you high. It's not going to be a psychoactive, but the Garden of Life are all guaranteed THC free. So if you do get tested at work and you really want to make sure there's no THC in your product, Garden of Life assures it. So we have the entire line, again, very affordable. So if you've been skeptical about trying CBD because you've never heard of any of the companies that are out there,
If you're afraid that you're going to suddenly desire to wear headbands and sunglasses,
yeah, walk around with the skateboard. Yeah. Oh gosh, I am
nothing
being
like that.
stereotyping right now. All right, so Garden of Life is now available at the store, so come check it out. All right, so today's topic is about MCT oil. It's like, I think it's kind of hysterical, like we're all around these initials, CBD, MCT. But MCT, just like CBD, is not new. It's been around for a long, long time. But now, because the studies have come out, animal studies and human studies, and most of the most famous health mentors in the country keep talking about it, it's getting a lot of publicity, not only in clinical journals, but also on social media. I myself have been using it probably about 10 years, maybe 11. I absolutely love it, but there's so much to know about it, and I definitely want to cover all the details. So before I go into MCT oil and what it is, I do want to talk about fats in general. There was a couple studies, and I want to make clear that there is a huge difference between saturated fats and trans fats and hydrogenated fats. So the trans fats and the hydrogenated fats, which now I mentioned a couple shows ago, in 2021, it should be clear off our shelves unless a company can prove that it doesn't hurt someone's health, which honestly, they cannot prove that because they are extremely dangerous, always have been, and totally proven that they're dangerous. So if there's a trans fat or a hydrogenated oil still left in a product, what they do is trick the consumer by making the serving size so small that it shows that there's very little in there. But most people never eat the amount of what a serving size suggests. So for instance, if they put hydrogenated oils in crackers and they tell the FDA, oh, ours are safe because it's 0.1 gram of trans fat in a serving, that has been proven that that would never hurt someone. Okay, that's fine, but who eats 2 crackers? Give me that person that sits down and stops the popcorn at 5 little bites or 2 little pieces or that 1/8 cup of cereal. None of us do it. I mean, none of us. I have some really great strict friends, and they don't even do that. So just be very weary if there are people left out there with trans fats or hydrogenated oils in their products. It's only because they misled the consumer by the serving size, okay? So now there's saturated fats. Saturated fats is naturally occurring in some plant foods and mostly in animal foods, okay? Now, they have once again proven, and there was one Japanese study using almost 300,000 people in 14 years, okay? And now the Japanese people are famous for very healthy statistics until we modernize them with our American crappy food, okay? So we definitely, I can say that, right, Cliff?
Well, I was thinking if that was the word, or if you wanted something like sugary or
Well,
mushy.
it's so much bad like that, processed, fluoridated, chloridated, but bromide. There's so much stuff we did to
we
the
can
food.
use strong terms.
All
I'm
right.
sure.
Yeah, I don't want to shut down the station or anything. All right. So, anyways, we we basically go. If you go by this study, 14-year study, 300,000 people, they showed it wasn't the saturated fat. The inflammatory markers that are caused by chemicals and processed foods and just like lifestyle choices that aren't conducive, like hectic lifestyle choices, stressful lives. Those inflammatory markers are what's causing the body, the cholesterol, the saturated fat to malfunction and our arteries to get blocked and causing heart disease and stroke. So keep that in mind, okay? Let's not blame the fat. Let's blame, again, lifestyle choices that are making that fat not do the job it's supposed to do. All right, let's take a caller. Good morning, Mary.
Yes, good morning, Joanne. Listen, I called in last week at the end of the program, and I had to hang up because there was interference on the phone line.
Okay.
But I did hear what you said. I'm the one that has the sinuses all stopped up.
Oh, wonderful.
And I bought your two products Tuesday. I've used this nose drop two times a day for the last 2 days, and I want to tell you, my sinuses are draining.
Oh, wonderful, Mary. I really appreciate you calling and saying that on air. I really do.
Well,
that's
I
awesome.
have had a cough for 12 years, and the doctors, ear, nose, and throat doctors, have done nothing. So I just want to tell you that I really appreciate that because I think it's really working.
Oh, thank you, Mary. Can I tell you one more thing? That
Yes.
So there's a lot of my customers that are having these lingering coughs, and it's really concerning me. And so I'm actually not next week. Dr. Ravi will be on by himself next week, but the week after that, that's what the show's going to be about. Okay,
Wonderful.
so definitely don't miss it. So 2 weeks from today.
Week after next. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mary. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
Oh, well, that was wonderful. Okay, so fat. So again, saturated fats is not our enemy if used appropriately, okay? Now, the problem is with these high protein diets, once again, they're turning to a lot of animal foods. Now, I personally am trying to be a vegetarian, just some wild fish here and there. But that was my choice because of the quality of the meat that is available to us, okay? So that is what's in question. If you go back to statistics about saturated fat in animal foods, that's really, to me, not the issue. The issue is how they're raised. They're grazed on grain instead of grass. So their body composition is not what it used to be. We're changing these animals just like we're changing fish when we farm raise them to these chemicalized antibiotics, hormone-filled, grain-fed, like Franken animals. Like, they're not the same animals that we used to think of, like, oh, well, the Indians, they ate animal foods and this group did. I used to say that, but this is not the beef, this is not the pork, this is not the chicken that we're getting at our grocery stores. So just don't be misled by that, okay? So yes, I do agree that refined carbohydrates are horrible for us, and most flour products destroy our thyroid. But again, saturated fat is not the villain, okay? It's the way that the animals are raised, okay? And so now, so we're talking about the fat that's called MCT. So Cliff, I'm going to put you on the spot. Where do you think MCT comes from? I'll give you a hint. It's one of your favorite shows that I've done. That's where it comes from. Hint, hint.
Hint, hint. Oil pulling, huh?
Yeah. So what kind of oil do you use for oil pulling?
Coconut oil.
There we
there's some
go.
others, yeah.
I knew you'd get that right.
You don't use saturated, hydrogenated.
Well, MCT oil comes from coconut oil, and
Okay.
coconut oil is 95% saturated fat, okay? And it's a plant, right?
Not
so
the
again,
enemy, okay.
once therefore the proof that not saturated fat is not the villain here, okay?
Right. Okay.
So coconut oil has long chain fatty acids and medium chain fatty acids. That's where the initials MCT come from, medium chain trans fatty acids, okay? So they are awesome, all right? So let's talk about what makes the long chain and the medium chain. So it's the simplification of the process is when you eat a saturated fat, okay, or a long chain fat, your body goes through over 6 steps, and I mean extensive steps. If you watch the science of it, it's a little mind-boggling, okay? You're like, wow, my body has to do all that to digest fat. And that's why so many people now feel sick or nauseous when they eat fat, because either they do not have a gallbladder any longer, or their liver is already overwhelmed and not functioning properly, or they don't have enough lipase, which is a fat digesting enzyme. So really it's crazy how much work the body has to do to digest and use the energy from this fat source if it's a long chain fatty acid. So I'm going to take another caller, and when we come back, we'll talk about the simple world of MCTs. All right, Anthony, good morning.
Good morning, Joanne. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. I have a question for you. And before that, let me give you a little history. Back in 2011, I had open heart surgery, triple bypass. Everything's been fine. Up until last August, I had a AFib attack. And I was admitted into the hospital, released, and then I was put on a blood thinner. Ever since I was put on the blood thinner, I have shortness of breath. I spoke to the doctor, I spoke to the VA, and I told them that I have a problem breathing. Oh, that's not a side effect, that's not a side effect, that's not a side effect. And the only reason why I'm taking the blood thinner is because I'm worried about, God forbid, getting a stroke. So just about 3 or 4 days ago, I decided to do a little test on my own and not take the blood thinner and just take a regular full aspirin, and I'm feeling like 90% better.
Yeah, it's
What
amazing.
do you recommend, and what do you think? Is there a substitute? Because I am still concerned about possibly getting, a blood clot, just in case I do get another AFib attack.
Okay, Anthony, those are, legit concerns. And I want to acknowledge you for actually taking your health into your own hands. Sometimes our intuition is stronger than anyone else's advice. So there is, so have you ever heard my shows where I talk about Terry from Terry Naturally Vitamins? Have you ever heard him? Okay. He's been on my show numerous times. He's one of the most famous men in our industry.
Terry Limrod?
Yep. And so he is a huge advocate on educating people about the topic you're talking about. So it is a lengthy topic. So what you're doing, number one, I can put my neck out and say is not dangerous going off the blood thinners.
It's not. Okay.
It's not. But you have to take full responsibility. You can't just say, okay, this drug is giving me this side effect, so I'm going to stop and continue other habits in your life that might be contributing to why you're in this situation in the first place. So that's when it gets
what
really...
would cause AFib? Because they say it just happens all by itself. And
no,
nobody knows
unfortunately, Anthony, that's not true. The body's mechanisms for the heart only get defective through habits that we do. So AFib, let me answer your question. So AFib, in the supplement industry, we always suggest Calm. Calm is a powdered magnesium that's ionized and highly absorbable. One of the 300 main functions that does is help control AFib and heart beats, okay? Now, it does a lot of other amazing stuff, and magnesium should not be kind of, everyone hears about magnesium, but doesn't think that it could be that miraculous. Well, it is.
Somebody told me about vitamin B.
Well, B is synthetic vitamin B, which is the one that's mostly sold, is very hard to convert, and it takes a lot of stress on the body. And if your body's not working properly, it will cause more stress and energy
All right. Do you have this product in your store, the Calm?
I sure do. I do.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would do is I would start there, and I would also take Curamed, Curamed. That would help with your worry about the stroke. And then I would go on to Terry Naturally. He has radio shows every week that are
What's
broadcast.
his last name?
Well, it's under Terry Naturally.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, Naturally. He's a really great man. He speaks in a language that everyone can understand, and he really talks about why not to do blood thinners and blood pressure drugs and statins and solutions, not just why not to, but how to combat it naturally.
Okay, I have another question for you. Do you think smoking a cigar would have triggered AFib?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, because I had quit smoking cigarettes about 15 years ago, and then for whatever crazy reason, I just, about 4 years ago, picked up cigar smoking. But when I got out of the hospital in August, I completely quit the cigar, so I'm tobacco-free at this point.
All right, well, Anthony, if you call my store, Jennifer, my manager, can give you my cell phone number. My cell phone number is in the back of every one of my business cards, and I just want to stress to you, I don't charge, and I would talk to you one-on-one so we don't have to discuss your whole private life on air.
That's
but
fine.
Just so you know, whatever our choices were in the past, it doesn't matter. It's the past, right? But we can fix what damage has been done, so never give up hope. But just know it is always our choices that got us to this outcome.
What's the store number?
464-3598, and Jennifer is there now, and just say you just called me on the show and you like my cell phone number. And if texting is best first, so I know who's calling me, and it's not a sales call.
Not a problem. I appreciate
you so much,
Thank
Anthony.
you very much, and have a great day.
You too.
Wow.
Okay.
How's the medical industry nowadays? When we talk to our doctors about supplemental supplements, are they a little more accepting of it than they were, say, 20 years ago?
No, not at all.
Really?
Not at all. It's unfortunate, but I see firsthand, even in my own family, that physicians have this overwhelming blanket of belief that it's just about the symptom, never the holistic approach. And my favorite analogy is like when you go in for a stomach issue, they don't even talk about the stress you're under or what you're eating. And those have been known for years that cause ulcers, stomach problems, digestive issues. And that's just one tiny example of where doctors are not trained in nutrition. It is an elective that most do not take, and if they do take it, it's very short dietetics courses on what's a calorie and what's a fat and what's a protein, nothing that's really going to apply to a human being today. That's why I tell people physicians have an important place in this world. I am not discarding what they do, but what I'm saying is we have to take responsibility for all our choices and to listen to our bodies. And if something starts breaking, as simple as, oh, I'm sleeping less, or, oh, I don't have energy, or, oh, my thumb hurts, right then and there, analyze your choices and know eating, like, I love my husband for this. If all of a sudden his hand starts hurting, oh, honey, I've been eating too many carbs, I'm going to cut back. And then for a few days, he won't eat, a couple pretzels or some bread, and right away his hand doesn't hurt because he knows the relationship between his choices and his symptoms. And this is available to all of us. It's not just someone that is in the field. It's not just someone that has the knowledge. you know when your body doesn't feel well.
It's our body. We know, yeah.
Yes, we're completely responsible for our choices and our bodies. So if it breaks, you cannot go to your doctor for his 7-minute visit and expect him with one pill to fix all the things that your choices have led you to. But again, the past is the past. Okay, we made bad choices, but let's fix it now before it progressively gets worse. We're put on that medication prescription hamster wheel, and we can never get off. And then it's surgery, prescription, and it's this never-ending battle, and it honestly never gets us anywhere. Cliff, what do you think? A quick break, and then we'll get back to our topic of MCT oil.
We could do that. Wow. It's nice to know, though, that we do have all the information we need about how to prevent stuff from happening in a non-medicine type
That's
of
right.
mentality.
It's all there. It's all available to us if we just want to listen.
All right. That's right. So to listen, continue. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more of Joanne's World of Nutrition after the break.
Guiding the Treasure Coast in health, one person at a time. That's their motto at Joanne's Nutrition World. In the historic arcade building on US 1, downtown Fort Pierce, Joanne brings more than 25 years of experience in the natural health industry. Right here to you. Take advantage of this free personal guide to wellness and good health. Meet with Joanne herself and get started. Nutrition World always provides you with the hottest new product lines, natural and homeopathic remedies, herbals, and best of all, expert advice from the people who care. Call Joanne at 464-3598, 464-3598, and learn the correlation between diet and great health. Stop in today. The expert guidance to health is always free at Nutrition World. Nutrition World, Suite 121 in the Arcade Building, US 1, downtown Fort Pierce.
Hey, it's Dr. Ravi at Tradition Family Chiropractic. We are dedicated to serving you and your family with integrity, compassion, and innovative care through the most advanced chiropractic care ever in chiropractic history, encouraging your health and your family's health to its maximum potential on a regular basis. Call us today at 772-345-0060 or schedule online at traditionhealth.com for your free consultation.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
And as you just heard from Dr. Ravi, he'll be the guest host next week on Joanne's World of Nutrition. But this week, Joanne is still here with us.
That's right. Jennifer is going on vacation next week, so I will be at the store every day, and Dr. Ravi will have the show all to himself next week. I'm sure it's going to be amazing, as always.
You'll be in good hands. He's got your back. He's a chiropractor.
You're so funny. All right, so the topic. Oh, yeah, I know, right? I always laugh when I hear that one.
Absolutely.
So the topic of the day, and I appreciate these callers. Please keep them coming. I love when people call in. So always welcome the callers. All right, so MCT oil, that is derived from coconut oil. So coconut oil is predominantly a saturated fat. Again, not a bad fat, a saturated fat. And the rest is called a medium chain triglyceride, okay, which is a medium chain fat. So what is the advantage to having this type of fat? It's huge, okay? So here is for anyone concerned with extra weight. I don't know, maybe a couple people out there, right?
Maybe one or two.
Yeah, one or two, right? You know,
1, 2, or me, or 3.
MCT is phenomenal at helping you lose body fat, okay?
Everybody wants
to
do that.
MCT bypasses all these other steps. So there's like over 6 steps from getting fat to be broken down to be used for energy, okay? But MCT goes right to the energy source. It goes right to the mitochondria, which is like the fuel source of every single cell, and it literally gives us energy immediately. So if you do not have a gallbladder, or if you normally eat fats and just feel like really weighed down and feel sick to your stomach, MCT is a perfect solution to get a healthy fat and a nice clean energy source. It's kind of like how I picture how, like, they say use a certain type of fuel for your car because some gook up your engine and the other one is burns nice and clean.
Same with our
That's
bodies.
that's what I picture MCT. And it's actually, which I find amazing, less calories than regular fat. So it's 1 calorie difference. So isn't that cool? I mean,
Wow.
so it's less calories. So I never promote calorie counting, but for those that do, it's less calories than other fat. And we have another caller. This is
Yeah.
an awesome morning.
Yes.
Good morning, Michelle.
Well, hi, Joanne. How are you?
I'm awesome. How you doing today?
I'm good. First of all, I want to thank you for your show. It's very informative. I enjoy it every day, every time you're on, Joanne.
Thank you so much.
Okay, what I need to know is, I hope you can help me. You had just spoken with another person, and they had some questions, and you said that they can come to you and ask you about certain things. This is concerning my sister. She has diverticulosis, IBS, and celiac disease, and she has no idea what she can eat.
Well, I can definitely help her. I would love for you to do what I asked Anthony to do, call the store and get my cell phone number. If you can't come in, I would gladly talk to you on the phone. But
Okay.
just text first and say, this is the radio show caller, so I know when the number comes in to answer, okay?
Okay.
If I
okay.
can't answer, it's because I'm with a customer at the store. But I do take calls after work.
Okay.
And so one thing I want to stress, okay, 9 out of the 10 diseases in the world, okay, are
Okay.
all based on inflammation. So I honestly, sometimes people get annoyed about this, but I treat everyone the same. So whether your sister comes in with one diverticuli or someone comes in with cancer, I treat their situation exactly the same because it's all inflammation, okay?
Really?
So it is. Isn't that crazy? So
I didn't know that.
all those things, like when I went to school over 30 years ago, we didn't have all the things we have now, the Crohn's, the Alzheimer's, the dementia, the autism, like all these things, they are all just symptoms of inflammation.
Really?
But the problem is with inflammation is that there's so many things that contribute to it. Here comes the crazy part, okay? Our emotions, if we're always stressed out, overthinking, and anxious, we're contributing to inflammation. If we're not getting enough sleep, we're contributing to inflammation. If we have a lot of chemicals in our surrounding with perfumes and makeups and cleaning supplies, we're contributing to inflammation. It's not just what we put in our mouth. It's everything. So when I speak to your sister, I'm going to address this. So sometimes the information is welcomed and you understand and you have to change a lot of stuff. Or you think of it like a doctor thinks of it. Here's this intestine that has, things going wrong inside it. So either take part out or take medication that supposedly stops it, which it never does, or they tell you to stop eating healthy things because they believe it irritates it. No, it's trying to clean it up. Okay? So the doctors, unfortunately, really have these conditions that she's going through completely wrong. Okay? So you don't address the colon. Believe it or not, you start with the brain. Okay? So like remember those old days? Like I always said, like you get a really bad phone call for work, or from a loved one, you get bad news. Where's
Yes.
the first thing you feel it?
In your stomach?
Right, in your stomach. So it doesn't take a master's degree to figure this out. We basically process all of our emotions, especially as females, in our stomach, okay? We're either getting the runs in the bathroom, we're feeling nauseous, like we're going to throw up, we're nodded over, and we're keeling over because our, I call it the cross reference under the belly button, we're pushing on that because it hurts so bad. That's all from emotional stress. Okay. Really. So I will work with her with that, and I will recommend certain people that will help her. But really, it's much more than just making some dietary changes. But if you want to give her one suggestion right away, and this is a rule I try to live by, which sometimes is difficult, is no flour products whatsoever. It doesn't matter if it says organic or gluten-free or whole grain. no flour at all. That's the only
Really?
food. Yeah.
Now, Joanne, is that white flour, or is that like all flours, including
all
wheat?
flour.
Really?
Yes. I don't care how dark of a color it is. I don't care if whatever the label says, if it says the word flour in it, and it's okay. So the one exception now is they're calling almond meal almond flour. Almond meal is what it always should be called because it's not coming from a grain, it's coming from a nut. So that's the only exception. So she can use almond meal flour, she can use coconut flour, but yes, absolutely no regular flour, okay? And she just eliminates that, does about 4 ounces of water every hour she's awake. That's where I would start her. So if you want to pass that along, and then if she follows that for 1 week, and calls me, I can give her the next step. But I just gave you my first 2 steps. I work with anyone that has what she's going through. And then we're going to be talking about meditation or prayer, whatever her belief system is. And really, I'm working on the emotional side.
Okay, because, right now she has no idea what to eat. Because IBS and then the diverticulosis and the celiac disease, she has these diets for each of those things.
Right.
But they're at war with each other.
Well, unfortunately, until I get her to understand where this all came from, and again, it wasn't necessarily what she was eating. So that's where we have to shift it. So if you can tell her the no flour for now and the little bit of water, and then she can call me anytime. She can call me later today, and we can start her right away on, what she can eat. But normally I start people like that are that seriously have so much going on in their digestive system with juicing and broths. That's where I start them. Unless they're very, very small, then I do a lot more healthy fats, which we're going to cover right now. So definitely still listen, because what I'm about to say is what I'm going to put her on. Okay,
so I'm going to let you get off the phone and listen to it on the radio, and I will give her those 2 suggestions that you just gave me, and I'll let you know how she feels in a week. I'll have her give you a call, Joanne.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Have a blessed day.
Oh, thank you so much, and God bless you, Joanne.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your marriage.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Have a good day, Joanne.
You too, Michelle. Bye-bye. All right, so MCT oil. So you buy this now in bottles. It's everywhere. I've even seen it at the big box stores. But just like when you're purchasing high-quality coconut oil, please watch out for certain things, okay?
Well, you did start this. The reason you're seeing them in the big box stores and the big grocery stores is well, people were listening to this show, heard about oil pulling, buying coconut oil. And so the store said, hey, we can't have this. We got to get involved.
I know. I was kind of laughing because the oil pulling topic didn't come up to national audiences till like almost 7 years after I talked about it. And I was kind of a little proud about that one.
Well, when you're 7 years ahead of the game, the rest of the world,
Well, the MCT oil might be the case with this one, because other than like YouTube and social media with some cutting edge, really cool people talking about it, the national people have not started spreading the great news. But why should you take MCT oil? Because MCT oil, so not only is it that great energy source, so if you're feeling tired and you need energy, and you eat carbohydrates, most of us, unless you're like the very small part of the population that does really well with carbohydrates, you get brain fog, you get tired, and you get cravings for more carbohydrates soon after. It's like this vicious cycle where you need more and more, and you really don't get great energy. You get like this, like the candy bar effect that I was taught 33 years ago. You get a spike of sugar, and then you crash. Well, when you do healthy fats, it's different. Your body gets this much smoother energy. So other than the addiction part of the sugar and the carbohydrates, which you think you still need, it gives you what your body needs. It's giving you actually a nutrition profile. It's giving you energy, the ability to have more efficient thermogenesis. For many, many years, customers would come in and say, hey, I want a fat burner. It really didn't exist, okay? There is no pill that you take that per se burns fat. I know the visualization of that is amazing, and who wouldn't? I would spend hundreds for that actual pill. But there are foods that promote the body to work more efficiently. So MCT is one of them. So that's the closest thing you can get to an actual fat burner. So you can take it. Now, it has what they call C8. There's different carbon chains that are in MCT oil. My favorite one, which is the one I sell by Dr. Mercola, has predominantly C8. C8 is caprylic acid. Now, caprylic acid, I have been selling forever in a pill form, but I never really liked it because it was a processed form from the oil. Again, anytime you process something, you're going to take away some of its features. And caprylic acid, though, what is it for? It's a prescription strength to kill mold and fungus known commonly as candida. What has my mentor said? Some of the mentors for 50 years and more, that cancer and oxidative damage all start from candida. So all these pathogens, if you look at candida under a microscope, you will never want to have it in your body. You know, I mean, some people unfortunately know what black mold is on their walls. And when you discover it in your home or in your office, it's scary. You see how one little patch can grow so rapidly and cost so much money to repair. You have to have people come in pretty much with hazmat suits. Well, that's what like candida is in our body. Now, it can lie dormant and not cause us any grief for our whole lifetime. But what does it love? It loves stress, it loves sugar, it loves processed carbohydrates, it loves fluoridated water, it loves chlorinated water, it loves bromides and glycosates because they're chemicals, and it's like it festers on it, and then it takes over our bloodstream, and then we want more and more of these vicious foods that are crippling us and causing all of this inflammation and diseases. So caprylic acid kills that. It literally eats up that sheath, that coating on that mold, and destroys it. It's amazing. And this is proven not only in animal studies, but human studies. Again, I've been preaching this for so long, but MCT oil, it's about 11 years now, maybe a little longer, that it's been out in a convenient bottle. So I sell the Dr. Mercola one. I love his. It's now in a nice glass bottle. Matt and I use it in our organic alkaline coffee every morning. Bulletproof coffee. There's a recipe online. We don't use the grass-fed butter that is most commonly used, but if you do use animal products and you do love the taste of those fake creamers that are so bad for us, then this is a great substitute. You do need to blend it, though. I know it's an extra step in the morning. At first, it was like so annoying to me to like dirty another thing. But once you get in this great habit, you will love it. You get so much energy from it. Your brain, it feels like it's just like really focused. There's a lot of people that will do this and to do their morning workout because they have this clean fuel source. So this MCT bypasses the digestive system. You don't need your gallbladder to send out a whole bunch of bile to break it down. It goes right to the center of that cell, gives you this nice clean energy, helps you burn fat, kills your candida, and it also helps you reduce your appetite. So I love food. I mean, we keep planning our meals like it's like epic. Like, oh, I can't wait for that next meal. We really do love food. But what I notice is that the more MCT oil I do, the more full I feel, and I don't feel like I'm going to turn to as many processed carbohydrates, okay? Because that is a challenge for the best of us. The adherence to a lifestyle with very few carbohydrates is only for a certain percentage of the population. A lot of people don't understand that if you try to be into the keto diet and then all of a sudden Friday night comes along and you have, some cocktails, a couple glasses of wine, you're kicked out of that immediately. And it sometimes takes like 7 to 10 days to go back into that mode. And that's putting a stress on the body. It's like, wait, what are you doing? Are you giving me carbs and glucose for energy source, or are you giving me fat for energy source? And another thing that is very misleading, too much protein is not what the ketogenic diet is about. The ketogenic diet is about healthy fats are the predominant source of your energy supply. And if you have too much protein on the ketogenic diet, you actually will also be kicked out of ketosis and damaging other things as well. So really get the whole story if you're going to approach keto. I know my lifestyle will never be a ketogenic lifestyle because, yes, I do like to have some dark chocolate. I do like to have some wine. We do make things with quinoa and brown rice. So I'm honest with what I know would work for me. But do I ever want to touch processed flour? No. And if I do, I don't feel well. So like I was mentioning to the last caller, so when you're talking about burning fat, thermogenesis, reducing body weight, you need that thyroid to work properly. The food group and the chemicals that kill the thyroid the most and deregulate it are the flour products. The 4 chemicals that are found in our flour products are a great detriment to the thyroid. So the bromides, the fluorides, the glycosates, I said fluoride, chlorine. Yes, so all these chemicals which are in our water supply and our flour supply, that's an easy one to avoid. So if I ever tell anyone if they want to follow a, so to say, diet, is to eat as much nutrient-dense foods as you can, but at all costs avoid flour. Okay, and do not get misled by labels saying organic, non-GMO, whole grain. Flour is really contaminated and extremely processed. All right, so now how to use MCT oil. Unfortunately, I had this wonderful, beautiful customer that took too much because the experts tell you to do 3 tablespoons a day. Okay, 3 tablespoons. So if you were to do that much or even 1 tablespoon to start, the only side effect to MCT oil is that you have sudden bowel movements. Now, some of my customers like do cartwheels when I tell them this because they have stubborn bowels. But for the rest of us, that could be very uncomfortable, and sometimes you don't want to be out in public if you take too much MCT oil. So start slowly. So even though 3 tablespoons, like for instance, they did an amazing Alzheimer's study with this, it was 3 tablespoons a day. But you can't start with that. Please don't. So so 3 teaspoons make up 1 tablespoon. So for the first week, just start with 1 teaspoon a day. So like I mentioned, put it in your coffee, which is how I absolutely love it. Put it over salad, put it into your protein drinks, take it off the spoon, okay? But know that your bowels might react to that, okay? And then the next week, increase to 2 teaspoons a day. And then the following week, you can increase to 3 teaspoons a day. So there you go. You're already at 1 tablespoon. All right. Now, you can continue with that 1 tablespoon for months. Okay. But I would definitely have the ultimate goal of working up to those 3 tablespoons. Now, it is going to be a calorie source, a food supply. Do not look at this as just a supplement. This is food. So again, you'll be cutting back on buying other foods. So there's the cost difference right there. You'll be feeling this great stable energy source. So you're going to split up your servings throughout the day, morning, afternoon, and night, never all at the same time. And you're going to be helping your brain. Remember, the brain is healthy fat and water. So if you know anyone that is not thinking clearly, or ADD, ADHD, you definitely want to get them off those really horrific trans fats and hydrogenated fats and get them on to the better fats. And I think with the caller, I skipped a really important part of the show. which was quality. So I mentioned I sell Dr. Mercola. When you are buying oils, you have to make sure they're not hydrogenated. Now, that sounds crazy, right? Someone's selling a health oil. Why would they hydrogenate it? Because if companies are only about money, they hydrogenate it so that way shipping is more stable, because healthy oils go to liquid when it gets warmer than 76 degrees. Liquid oil is messy during shipping, okay?
Best example, margarine.
Yeah, well, never. If any of my listeners are eating margarine, okay, you need to get up right now, turn off the show, and throw it out in the garbage, okay? Like, I mean, I hope I can't. That will not be sold soon. But
real
margarine,
butter is actually better for you.
Yes, I love the Irish butter, the grass-fed butter. So buy real butter. Do not buy, if it's solid, it's hydrogenated. Do not buy it. Okay. And like we love at home to do avocado, a great healthy fat. It's an amazing substitute for the texture and feel of butter.
Ooh, on toast, that
yeah.
would be
Oh
interesting.
my gosh, we do it with a little bit of nutritional yeast and a touch of Himalayan sea salt on top of sprouted bread. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely delicious.
I'd have to put a little Tabasco sauce on it too.
And now, and a touch about coconut oil. When you're buying it, they are bleaching, okay, like chlorinating coconut oil now. So when you get home and you open it, smell it. If you do not smell the beautiful essence of coconut, then you have a bleached product. So if you don't, sometimes coconut oil is a nice pure white color, but normally it has little flecks of brown in there, little golden hue to it. Okay. If it's really white, or if it doesn't have the smell of coconut, and of course they think that this is what consumers want. I know everyone doesn't love the taste or smell of coconut oil, but please try to get used to it, because the other version is a chemicalized, bad, unhealthy version, okay? And if it's solid and it's warm, it's bad, so don't use it, okay?
That easy.
All right, everyone. Oh my gosh, there was so much more to cover. All right, call the store if you need me, 464-3598. Have a blessed and an amazing week. Thank you all for listening.
MCT Oil. This show will be archived on YouTube at WPSLTV.com. You've been listening to Joanne's World of Nutrition, brought to you by Nutrition World, across from City Hall, US 1 between Orange Avenue and Avenue A in historic downtown Fort Pierce, the historic Arcade Building. Of course, you can call Joanne, 464-3598. This, by the way, just so happens to be WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast, celebrating 25 years and counting.